Hello everyone, welcome back to the Wolfpack. Now this is part 2 in my series of visiting different board game stores in Europe. And we're visiting a board game store called Jeux De Societe. Please forgive me for my butchering of any pronunciations here. So in France, at least in like the area that we were in, the board gaming scene was definitely the biggest out of all the areas that we visited, and way bigger than the one here in the States, at least where I am, because I have like one board game store semi close to me, and then when we were traveling over there was like 7 around us, so it was super cool to see how much it was thriving around the area that we were in. And then in Jeux de Societe, they had this like dungeon cave room with a skeleton and jail bars right behind this giant Warhammer shelf, and it was hella cool. Can you imagine how fun it would be to just dim the lights and play a dark campaign game in there with surround sound? And oh my god, I'm sure they have the most epic gaming nights there, especially with a room like that. And then next to it was actually complete opposite atmosphere. It was very cozy and very warm, and it was a really great area to just like chill and play other games too. They also had an upstairs which was closed off when we were in, but they probably opened it up for events or something. And then the game layout itself was so cool. Apparently there's this big box of Root in French that exists, and it comes with the Riverfolk expansion, which I've never seen before ever. I didn't even know Root had a big box. And then similar to the store that we visited in Spain, they also had some titles like Acropolis and Hero Quest that we saw over there as well. I know the Dice Tower said amazing things about Veil of Eternity, so that's also on my watch list. This is also the first store where I think I finally get to see Dice Throne paired with Unmatched, and it makes sense because like if you're interested in all of the PvP dueling games, then you're probably interested in the title like right next to it. I was actually surprised to see many of the titles weren't translated into French, but I'm sure it has to do with like the cost of printing boxes. But there was a title that stuck out to me, and I was already set on collecting a different game title, which I'll talk about in my board game haul. But there was this one title I was so close to getting. I had no idea it would sound this cool in a foreign language. And that was Aquatica. Aquatica, translated into French, was Atlantis. How badass does that sound? Maybe next time I'll go around collecting different Aquatica translations. Now, what was really interesting was that on the other wall, it was entirely dedicated to detective and crime solving games, and many of them, aside from Chronicles of Crime, I didn't recognize at all. For anyone that knows, is this genre just something that is way more popular in France? Because it's really cool to see this entire wall dedicated to like these crime solving / mystery games. I love watching Sherlock and House and all those kind of investigative shows, but I haven't played too many crime solving games on my own. And then there were also lots of puzzle games, and the next wall actually had this layout. It reminded me a lot of Barnes & Noble in the States because it was full of, I guess, more globally recognizable titles like Monopoly, Scrabble, some Cluedo, and King of Tokyo. And like I said earlier, literally everything outside of English sounds so much cooler. Like we have Wandering Towers in English, but then in French, it was Les Tours Ambulantes. We also got a chance to talk to one of the workers here, and I asked him what was his favorite game of all time. And honestly, it's my favorite question to ask people. And he said it was one that they had in store, which was called Mage Noir. Now, I've seen this cover before, but excuse me, why did no one tell me about this dueling mage game that exists where you're casting spells and you get to specialize in different classes of magic? This is literally my type of game. Definitely adding Mage Noir to my other 50 games of my shopping list that I keep talking about. Sorry. Not sorry. But yeah, when he was telling us about it, like when you see someone so passionate and so excited and just having fun talking about a game, it makes you want to experience that too. So of course, I definitely added Mage Noir on my list. And yeah, such an awesome place to visit. Definitely stop by if you're ever in Nice. Now, if you made it here to the very end, go ahead and comment down below what do you think the third and final destination is for this mini series. And then we'll do the board game haul at the very end where I show you all the games that I got throughout all the stores. Not too many. I think I only got like 3 or so. But I'm excited to share with you all. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in episode 3.